Ladies and gentlemen, with a warm round of applause, help me welcome Rainchild with his speech titled Water Perfect. Water Perfect, Rainchild.
Water is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Perfection is found when nothing more can be taken away from you, not when nothing more can be added to you. Close quote. These are the words of Katlego Serati. In his poem, Katlego Serati's description of water reminds me of a time when I would go to bed hungry and rise in the morning with certainty of success. I invite you on a journey of my life as we reflect on how I stand here in front of you today. Mr. Toastmaster. In my journey, I will share with you 3 ingredients that has held me steadfast and hope within you will find your own certainty of success. Hope, dedication, and the postman. My journey begins all the way back in grade 1. I remember my first day at school as if it were yesterday. I bunked class that day. But that's not, well, we'll show our hands. Who has never bunked a day of class? Shame, I'm sorry. Every child deserves to bunk one class at least once in their life. Just once, at least. Well, I won't ask how many classes you maybe I should ask how many classes you did attend. It is not because I bunked class that I remember that day so vividly. What I remember most about that day is the conversation I had with my mother. You see, my mother had kept a lot of sweets in the house. Not for me, obviously, but she used to sell sweets. So leading to the day, my first day of school, I asked my mother, "Ma, can I please take some sweets to sell to my new friends?" Guess what my mother said? "My boy, you can do it." I was delighted, ecstatic, thrilled. Fast forward a few years later, I'm 12 years old and I've just learned how to use the lawnmower. I approach my mom and say, "Ma, can I please use the lawnmower to cut the neighbor's lawns so that I can make some pocket money?" Guess what my mama says? "My boy, you can do it." Fast forward, 5 years later, I'm 17 years old, I'm in grade 11. And I've just completed a program with Junior Achievement, and we had done some crafts and learned how to make candles. I went back to my mom and said, "Ma, I'd like to make candles in your kitchen and raise funds to go on youth exchange." Guess what my mama said? "My boy, you can do it." Each time I went to my mom is because I had the hope and the faith that my endeavor will work out. And that is the beginning of all success. To have an unshaken hope and faith that it could work out. Exactly a year and a half later, I'm employed in an engineering internship. I go to my mom and say, "Ma, I'd like to quit my job and sell candles and grow my business full time." Guess what my mama said? "No, Tab, you better find a place to stay before you quit your job." Lesson number 1. When you have a dream, to the people who are around you that are awake, sometimes your dream is incomprehensible. What you need to do is make sure that you do not wake up as well. Stay dreaming. Hope and faith can only take you so far. You need to take an extra step and show some dedication to your dream. Apparently, it turns out my mom was serious, and I was dead serious. So at the end of that conversation, not only was I still dead serious, I had been upgraded to homeless. I decided to show dedication to my dream, and I packed my candle mold, whatever material I had, and I ventured into the world. I had met a gentleman through Rotary who owned some industrial property. His name was Tony. I approached Tony and I said, Tony, I need a factory to sell candles. Tony looked at me and said, Tab, how are you going to pay for it? I looked back at Tony and said, Tony, I've just quit my job. My company makes 5,000 rands gross per annum. I've nothing to pay you. What you asking me? Guess what Tony said? You see, in the midst of nothingness, odorless, tasteless, and colorless, it is important to hang on to your faith and hang on to your hope, and to remain dedicated to your dream. Tony responded and said, okay, Tab, you can pay your first rent at the end of the year. I moved in. And 6 months later, it was spring leading into summer. And little did I know that the workshop that I just moved into did not have adequate water reinforcement. After the first rain, my factory was flooded, lost everything, and was officially bankrupt. Today, Klaus employs 2 full-time employees and 3 part-time. It's a profitable business and has 0 debt. There are a lot of details leading to today that I have left out, but I leave you with this. Have the strength to hold steadfast to your hope and to the faith that tomorrow will be a better day. Have the dedication to try one more time. And look out for the postman around you. There are people in our lives who once in a while say to us, my boy, you can do it. Who once in a while say, Tabo, you can pay at the end of the year. Or once in a while say, how are you doing today? Who are you? Mr. Toastmaster.